We are following a developing breaking news story right now out of Cave City, Kentucky. Now, Cave City Police Chief Paul Reynolds just confirmed to us that a civil dispute in Treasure Trove Park this evening led to a man flipping cars while driving a skid steer. Chief Reynolds says the skid steer driver, identified as Roy Spiker, then fled to a home where the owner of the home fired shots at him, damaging the vehicle. Spiker was arrested and no injuries were reported. We'll bring you any updates to this story both on air and online. And also new this evening, 2 firefighters from the Raywick Fire Department are critically injured following a rollover crash in Marion County. Officials say the tanker truck was heading to help the Loretto Fire Department when it drifted off the right shoulder of KY 527. This caused the edge of the road to collapse, which is when 51-year-old Brian Hatt lost control of the truck and hit an embankment before the truck flipped. Hatt was ejected from the truck and he was airlifted to U of L Hospital with life-threatening injuries. A passenger who was identified as 58-year-old Leonard Winkler was trapped in the wreckage and also airlifted. He was airlifted to the University of Kentucky Hospital with serious injuries. There will be a prayer vigil for the 2 Raywick firefighters tomorrow evening at 6. That'll be held at the Raywick Fire Department. Right now, the cause of the crash is unknown. And thanks for joining us here at 6:30. I'm Alex Dieterer. New this evening, a high school rivalry game in Mayfield erupted in fear last night. During the football game between Mayfield High and Graces County at War Memorial Stadium in Mayfield, gunfire was heard in the parking lot. Shots rang out during the 4th quarter of the game, causing players, staff, and spectators to scramble for safety. The game was immediately suspended. One adult was injured and rushed to Jackson Purchase Medical Center before being airlifted to a hospital in Nashville. Local officials confirmed no students nor staff were harmed. In response to the shooting, Mayfield Independent Schools has canceled all weekend activities and arranging on-site counseling to support those impacted. It is an active investigation, and officials are asking anyone with information to contact Mayfield Dispatch or Crime Stoppers. You can also text WKY to 738477. We now know the name of the man who was shot and killed in a shooting that happened 1 week ago. 48-year-old Jeremy Thomas was critically wounded during a shooting inside the Jamestown apartment in St. Matthews last Saturday. Just before 11 that morning, officers responded to a report of a man found with multiple gunshot wounds. Police administered first aid before EMS rushed him to U of L Hospital, where he later died. Rallies opposed to actions by the Trump administration to cut funding to health care continue to pop up around the country, including today in Louisville, where a rally was held in support of Medicare and Medicaid protection. WHAS11's Clarice Shaley joins us now in studio. And Clarice, how are these federal cuts being felt right here in Kentucky?
Well, Alex, they bring up a recent announcement of the indefinite delay of a U of L birthing center due to Medicaid funding cuts. They're worried about the health of poor Kentuckians, the elderly and children who rely on the benefits. A Saturday at Louisville's Jefferson Square Park.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
Where Louisvillians showed up in support of Medicaid and Medicare, health benefits that have received recent cuts. People like Pat and Judy Hartledge back the benefit programs.
Worried about people who need Medicaid, and it's just not right that their benefits are being cut so drastically.
The programs are receiving over $1 trillion of cuts through the Big Beautiful Bill. In Kentucky, there's concern.
Because when these cuts go through and there are fewer hospitals and there are fewer doctors and fewer nurses in Kentucky, everyone is going to be impacted.
And we're already seeing the impacts. The opening of the birthing center at U of L's Mary and Elizabeth Hospital has been delayed indefinitely because of Medicaid cuts. The center would have brought maternity services to South Louisville for the first time in nearly 50 years. Our Isaiah Kim Martinez spoke to Kentucky Congressman Brett Guthrie shortly after the announcement in early August. He was a part of cutbacks to the federal Medicaid program.
We're just talking about going back to 2021 numbers and still growing your Medicaid.
Reducing some of the expansions.
Well, we're still paying 90%. What we're asking the state is to pay their fair share. The state signed up for it.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear has pointed to rural hospitals in the state who will struggle with funding cuts. This has even hit the Addiction Recovery Center, Isaiah House. I'll have impacts they're seeing at 11. In studio, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 on your side.
All right, thank you, Clarice. The Louisville Pure Tap 5K today drew more than 750 runners to the water tower this morning for a sold-out race along River Road. Louisville's Paul Daywad won the men's division in 16 minutes 12 seconds, while Kyra Pretree of California took the women's race in 17 minutes and 28 seconds. And Gospel of Louisville finished first in the non-binary division. This year's race also welcomed dogs. Entry fees of this year's race were donated to Friends of Metro Animal Services. And it's the final weekend of the Kentucky State Fair, and this afternoon features two special events. From 7 to 9 tonight, fans can pack Freedom Hall for the World's Championship Horse Show, showcasing some of the finest talent in the country. And just across the fairgrounds from 8 to 10 tonight, country artist Avery Anna takes the stage with Ole 60. We have a full guide to the 121st Kentucky State Fair online at WHAS11.com. There you can find everything you need to know. Just text FAIR to the number here on your screen. That's 502-582-7290, and we'll text it directly to your phone. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche has released the audio tapes of his two-day meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell. She's Jeffrey Epstein's convicted co-conspirator and the woman thought to have the most direct knowledge of Epstein's decades-long sex trafficking operations. She claims there was no client list, no blackmail scheme, and to her knowledge, no high-profile Epstein associates like the president and former presidents who committed illicit acts in connection with the notorious sex offenders' crimes.
There's no list. There's never been a list.
And you never heard Mr. Epstein talk about such a list?
Never. I did introduce him to women. I did, but not underage women.
Back in 2022, the Justice Department told a judge Maxwell was not to be trusted, saying she has lied repeatedly about her crimes. Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence following a 2021 conviction for trafficking minors, though she continues to claim she's innocent. Shortly after the interview, Maxwell was transferred to a minimum security camp in Texas, which is a rare move for a convicted sex offender. And coming up, we are calling all animal lovers. This Wednesday, WHAS 11 goes live with an all-day telethon for Louisville Metro Animal Services. From 5 in the morning to 7 p.m., you'll hear adoption stories, meet dogs and cats ready to find their forever homes, and learn how you can help Metro Animal Services. And I'll be live starting at 9 Wednesday morning. Then you can join us live at noon, 4, 5, and 6. Watch this Wednesday live only on WHAS 11.